2 weeks ago, North Carolina opened a second application period for the HOPE program using funding from the American Rescue Plan. And I'm pleased to announce that checks are already on their way to landlords and utility companies.
It's to help keep the lights on and keep the rent up to date. Just 24 hours ago, the governor made it a point to make sure that folks knew that there is help for paying rent and utilities. More money has been allotted to the North Carolina HOPE program. Now, how do you get that help? What if you've already put in an application? These questions are what we're focused on today. North Carolina Office of Recovery and Resiliency Chief Operating Officer Laura Hogshead is joining us to answer your questions. Now, this is how you get one of your questions to her. You text us your questions. You text the number 336-379-5775 and you'll type in your question. Remember, this is a text only, so please don't call, but we do want to get your questions to Laura. All right, Laura, first and foremost, this is the second round of HOPE money, and this is for different counties than the counties that were in for that first round. So let's talk about that.
That's correct. So the first round was statewide, and this second round of money, some counties, the larger counties in North Carolina, 12 counties and 5 tribal governments received their own allocation. So they are running their own programs. So the second round of the HOPE program is for the 88 counties that did not receive their own allocation.
Okay, so we're talking about more of our counties around Guilford and Forsyth. Guilford and Forsyth have their own city and county things, and we're talking about all the other counties. They are now eligible for the HOPE program, which they were not before.
They were eligible before, but we were, frankly, all of the metro areas were a lot of the applicants. So now we are able to focus on those suburban and rural communities.
All right, so let's talk about how much has been allocated in Part 1 and in Part 2.
So in Part 1 last fall, we took in over 40,000 applications and we awarded over 36,000 families for $133 million. And as of our opening a couple of weeks ago, we have now awarded just over $10 million in the second round of funding.
Okay, so $10 million in the second round of funding has already been awarded. Okay, so let's talk about now what the definition is of very low income, because this is rent and utility help for those who are very low income.
That's right. So the very low income definition is 50% or below of area median income, and that is calculated by county. So that's going to be different from Forsyth to Wake to Northampton County. So 50% of area median income for your particular county.
And is that something that they can look at on the HOPE program website so that they'll know, do I even need to apply or not?
Exactly, yes. So you can look that up on our website and you can calculate your own income so that you can tell whether or not it's worth your while to put in the application.
Okay, so then let's go over what kinds of help are we looking at here? I know it's rent and it's utility, but for how long?
Right, so it's rent up to 12 months, and that includes up to 9 months of arrears and up to 3 months of forward-facing rent. And then it's up to about 3 months of utilities at a time. But for both rent and utilities, you can reapply after the 3-month period has elapsed if you continue to have a need and if there are dollars remaining.
Okay, and we're trying to make sure that everybody gets at least, one go round at it before the second round happens. All right, so we also want to make it really clear about what the application does for you and what it doesn't do for you.
Okay, so the application, as you put it in and you tell us what your situation is in COVID, that you have had a financial impact in COVID, it calculates your award very quickly, and then it pays that rent award to the landlord or the utility award directly to the utility company. So those payments go to the people that you owe money to so that you don't have to be in the middle of that interaction, and that helps speed up the process.
All right, which is super helpful. And so when you apply, you can apply for rent and utility, but you can't apply just for utility.
That's correct. You can apply for rent only or rent plus utilities, but not utilities only. That was not a huge part of our program last fall. It didn't seem to be the major need, so we wanted to focus on what the major needs are for North Carolinians.
And what you're seeing most of the time is the rent portion.
Right. That's
okay.
right.
All right. And so we want to make sure that people have the emails and the numbers and the things that they need for the HOPE program. Of course, we put it in the Two Wants to Know section, but we want to make sure that we have it on screen for you too. So this is one of those times where you get your phone and you take a screenshot of the TV, because we have it on there for you. It is hope.nc.gov. And of course, the phone number is there as well. And we want to make sure that everyone knows that the HOPE call center is open from 8 until 5, and this is Monday through Friday. So you do need to make some time within your week to be able to call if you need some kind of assistance when it comes to the HOPE program. So Laura, just quickly, I know that this is for the, concentrating on the other 80 counties, but if you're in Forsyth or Guilford, this is one of those things where you need to go to the city or the county.
That's correct. So you need to abide by the city and county rules. They are allowed to run their own program, and so they may have different rules for their program. I believe that both of those programs in Forsyth and Guilford are up to 80% of area median income, so it's important to check that income.